that we have been monitoring since the beginning of the week. So here we are on the USD card. Let me quickly run through the daily time frame. I think the most important information is on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, what we observed at the beginning of the week was that we had this bullish trend line figured out after connecting the series of higher lows. So we had a bullish trend line. Price has been bullish since the beginning of the year. And well, we had a very interesting structure around the 1.32 level, which started at around the month, I think the later half of this year, which was in the month of July, where the 1.32 level was holding selling pressure, negating all buying attempt at that particular point in time. However, during the later part of the month of September, we finally saw the breakout of that key level at the 1.32 to give us a signal of a bullish momentum. And from a technical standpoint, whenever we witness a breakout of structure like this, we expect that one point in time price might likely come back, do a retest of structure with the intention of inciting another wave of bullish momentum. And this is exactly what happened here, as it took over 2 months for price to come back to do a retest of the 1.3200 level. And when price came back to do the retest of that structure, we started seeing buying pressure around that area, where price action transitioned into a reversal pattern in the form of a double bottom structure. And whenever we have a reversal pattern like this, we want to be identifying a neckline area around that area, which shall be our yardstick for trading activity. So the neckline was identified around the 1.35 level. And if you look at how important that structure has been in the last couple of months here, we saw that it has been a buy pressure at one point in time before we saw the breakdown of that structure here in the first week of the month. It was a good signal that a reversal pattern is valid at this point. So with the breakout of the 1.35, obviously we expect a retest of structure. Then this was followed by this engulfing candle, which took price right back into the structure where it started this week. So now to buy the USD card here right now, well, I want to be seeing a situation where price will climb above the 1.35 one more time to incite another wave of bullish momentum. But before it breaks out of the 1.35, is it possible for us to see buy pressure around this area so that we can join that momentum very early? This is what we are going to be looking at on the 1 hour time frame. And at the same time, we cannot ignore a possible selling momentum here, considering the fact that price has been on a long-term bearish momentum. That is, since the month of September, we have been witnessing selling pressure around this area, hereby leading to a situation where price has continued to find lower highs and lower lows here. So you can see lower highs and lower lows. And what we saw here on Wednesday was more or less a sign that sellers are still very strong at this point, as despite we saw the breakout of the 1.35, this was followed by selling pressure the following day, breaking down the 1.35 to the downside. So in as much as we will be looking forward to buying pressure right around this area on the lower time frame, we also want to take into consideration that sellers might likely break down this bullish trend line, this temporary bullish trend line we identified during the early days of this week, in such a way that price breaks down, retest of that structure with selling pressure on our lower time frame, which might likely bring price back into this bullish trend line or into this key level again, or even break down the key level, retest to structure to send price going to the downside, hereby turning this reversal pattern here to a false one. So these are the scenarios we are going to be looking forward to on our lower time frame. So in order to do this, we will scale down to the 1 hour time frame, and on the 1 hour time frame we begin to see things more clearly. So on the 1 hour time frame, this is what we were able to observe here. So this is the 1.35 level, which was the very important key level we identified on the daily time frame, which is serving as the neckline of that reversal pattern we identified on the daily time frame. Remember, so that is the 1.35 level. And for this week on the USD card, it is important I stated that we have been very profitable. Remember, we took advantage of this opportunity here right above the 1.34350. We bought there. We also bought right above the, where was that? 1.35. That is the neckline of that reversal pattern. We took another opportunity here, so we had two positions. We gave us about over 350 pips thereabout before this bearish momentum started. So price has come back again into this area around the 1.34350, and one thing you will observe here in the last 48 hours is that price has been caught within a consolidation phase here, hereby emphasizing the indecision in this market. And as a result of this, participants are actually waiting for a catalyst that will drive price action, bring more liquidity into the market to push price to either way it wants to go. So what I'll be looking forward to here, yesterday we were expecting buying opportunity here around this area. I shared this on my public platform, and we saw that though buyers tried to push price to the upside around this level, but it was met with strong resistance from the sellers. And if you look at the structure here, look at the wicks of this candle, we can see we've been witnessing sharp rejection, which give us traces of sellers coming in at this point. And if you look at what has been happening here in the last 3 to 4 hours, we have been witnessing sharp rejection. So what I did here is to make our job easier during the New York session today. So what I did simply is to, in addition to the 1.34350 level, which shall be our yardstick, that is, if price remains above this level, we want to be comfortable in our buy position. And if price drops below the 1.34350 level, we want to be looking out for selling opportunities. So to make our job easier, what I did was to connect this channel here. So I was able to see higher lows here. So I was able to connect this higher lows to give us what I will call a temporary bullish trend line at this point in time. So what I'll be looking forward to here is this trend line going to continue to guide bullish momentum here, or are we going to be having a breakdown of this trend line to further emphasize the strength of the sellers at this point, which we can see that has been happening here in the last 24 hours. So if a breakdown of the 1.34350 level happens, I think is a risk worth taking to sell the USD at this point in time. So these are the views I'm looking forward to trade the USD for today. So in anticipation of the NFP, these are the structures, these are the likely possibilities that could happen here. So we have two parameters to guide trading activities. We have the 1.34350 and that temporary bullish trend line that I have identified there. So that is that on the USD. If you have questions, kindly drop it in the comment section. I will try to check the comment section from time to time as